Okay, this is a rant. Once again, a video that I'm doing in the dark because I don't feel like cutting this light on because it'll fuck with my eyes in the back of this truck. And it's completely dark and I don't need my eyes just right now just doing that. So, this is a question for all the swirling and divestment chicks. I remember, let me be honest, I had my passport years ago before this passport bros even became popular. However, let me say this up front. These guys that are mobile and able to get their passports and travel, these guys are not dusty guys. Let me make that clear. These brothers are not dusty guys. They're not a lot of these brothers are not unattractive guys, not on no gay shit, I'm just saying. They're not. These are the guys that are not the broke, dusty pookies and ray-rays that are traveling. Let me make that clear. So, that being said, you have a segment of divestment swirler chicks back before the passport bros, basically back before COVID, and pre-COVID. So back in the day, these black women will say they only attracted to white men, bread, and when black men approach them, they will, basically try to ignore and don't say anything to them black men because they didn't want black men, because they felt black men wasn't worthy of their time, even if these brothers were successful. Now that's what these women, a lot of these women were promoting the Christian encouragements and all this shit. Okay, post-COVID, this is when all this shit came to a head. You had all these sisters who were left uncovered, as my sister Crimson Cure beautifully said. You had a lot of these so-called successful black women left uncovered. They were getting evicted out their homes. They were losing their jobs. You have sisters now I see in cities that lost their jobs and now working jobs that's beneath them because the jobs they had at first wasn't secure. Now, some of these jobs are calling them back, some of them work from home. I ain't gonna sit and tell no bald-faced lie like that. You had some of these sisters that had jobs, but they work from home. I'm gonna keep it 100 a buck, regardless of, what it is. It is what it is. But anyhow, you had, this passport bro was way before pre and post COVID. You had brothers traveling going to Brazil. You had a whole guy did a documentary called Frustrated Black Men. And what he did, he showed videos, went down there to Colombia, Brazil, and showing how black men, mostly your blue collar, white collar black men who had resources to travel, were getting treated comparably to the black women in the States. So those brothers went down there for the first trip. They liked it. So after the first trip, those brothers already now they feeling it out. They don't know the culture, the language yet, but after they came back, these brothers start taking Portuguese, start taking Spanish classes, whether they got Rosetta Stone or they got apps that can translate Portuguese and Spanish to English. They when you dedicated to something, man, you'll learn it real quick. When people say your brain get old. No, it's what you dedicated to do. It's what you dedicated to do. So those brothers were dedicated enough to they want to learn Spanish, not only learn the culture, and Portuguese, not only learn the culture. Hell, now even Africa, they brothers going to Africa now, South Africa and Central Africa, like Uganda. You got brothers going over there. You got brothers basically. It's a black exodus of men leaving. So you got these brothers leaving the United States, getting their passports. Now it's in full it's in full what you call exodus mode. And now these brothers, at one time, these same divestment swirling chicks who said they ignore black men, they don't mess with black men, they don't fool with black men, all this shit that they said. That's why I had to ask this question: why are they mad at the passport bros? And when you put two common denominators together, they wasn't getting approached by those guys. They were getting approached by the Dusties, Ray Rays, and Pookies that they associated with these brothers. Because we all know these divestment and swirling women put all black men under the same umbrella, because like the great David Curl have said, to this Negro woman, the white man ice is colder. So a lot of these sisters are now seeing a mass exodus of black men. It ain't just the chicks that, were laying there with Ray Ray and Pookie and using them brothers, say, well, we'll have them brothers around to marry even though we don't like them, but we need their resources. But even the divestment and swirling chicks are getting mad. But you know what? They getting mad for the wrong reasons. It's not the reasons that you think they're getting angry at. It ain't the fact that black men are leaving. They don't care about that. What's starting to happen, white men, now let's be real. White men been doing it for years, being passport bros, and they've been going around making biracial children with other groups of women for years, making bastard children. White men been at it, so white men, now you have the white men of what you call the Gen X and the millennial white men who are going out the country, and they are not fooling with not only white women in America, because now white women are just as toxic as the black women in America. So now Keisha, or this swirling divestment chick, she can't get to those brothers because those white guys, white men have now joined the passport bros movement. They are basically leaving right along with the passport bros. They now are passport bros with the black dudes. So they are getting their passports, they going abroad, they finding out how feminine these women are in these countries, how these women are cooperative, and these guys like come back and they look at American women, whether they black or white, like with a disdain. Like, that's how you got these white dudes now doing the same thing that black men do after they been to travel. And you see how these other groups of women treat you, and you come back, you ain't gonna even want to mess with white women in the States. It's like black men now not even messing with white women over here in the States now, because they've been corrupted by feminism. But see, it was worse with the black woman. The black woman went fully fledged. And then you got all the hatred that's spewing. You should hear some of the hatred. That's why I say y'all brothers don't understand how this white woman, who has been the most privileged, talk shit about white men. I thought that you didn't have white women that would get off cold like that. Shit. Go to some of these feminist sites, and you hear these white women dogging white, dragging white men, talking about They need to stop having male babies and shit like that. White men and men in general are trash. You should hear some of these feminist white women. You think the black feminist women fucked up? Shit. I was wrong like a motherfucker. They are getting off cold. These feminist white women are getting like off the chain with their misogyny. So now you got white men that are doing the same goddamn thing. They going to what they're attracted to most to. Like most of them white men are going to Scandinavia. They going to Eastern Europe and shit like that. Places that still have a patriarchal system in place, like Poland, Hungary, Czechoslovakia. Those men gonna go to where they're popular at, but then you got a segment of white men that are attracted to Asian women. You got some that are attracted to black women, so Latino women. So you got some of these white men just doing like black men. They just dispersing all over the goddamn place. So now the system is falling to shit. Black women don't know what to do. The swirling divestment chicks didn't expect this. They was caught off guard by this because the passport bros now have white men joining the movement. And now that is problematic to these black women who want to identity swirl, because they can't compete with those women abroad. They cannot compete. They cannot compete with it. They can do all the bedwetching roles and shit that they want to do with their white man, but actually majority of white men hate that shit. A lot of white men getting hated, paraded around by these black women like they poodles and shit, like they pink poodles. Cause that's what you see mostly when you have these black women. They'll walk around with their white zaddy, parading him around like he a poodle on a leash. You know, or you'll have some little black chick over there with a redneck brand up there on a farm dancing with chickens, with fucking hens in her hand. But I said, let that brother let that dude go abroad. I'm telling you, he ain't gonna see. He might be comfortable like that, but now these brothers are not paying attention to these divestment swirling chicks. They got their wish. So why are you divestment chicks and swirling chicks mad? And I'm gonna tell you why you're angry. You are upset that your desired white zaddy, who you really attracted to, is following suit with these black men who are getting their passports, and they ain't paying y'all ass no attention. That's what that's all about. That's why y'all angry at black men, because y'all hate black men, because now white men are calling y'all out on y'all shit. Y'all don't like it. You got white men calling y'all out on y'all masculinity, and now they starting to see what black men been seeing for years. Because a lot of them white men are getting the same attitudes from these black American women. They getting with these black American women, and these black American women, after having 2 or 3 children, they want to run around with bonnets on. Like 3 years ago, I seen a black chick with her biracial kids and a white dude. She looked at a hot ass mess. She looked like she just left the plantation. The white dude was embarrassed to be with her. He was trying to avoid her until they got to the car. And then the fucked up thing, this what happened. You had a brother came in there with a motherfucking Susan. And damn Susan was looking hot. I'm just keep it real now. I'm not really that attracted to white women like that. But hey, this white girl had it going on, and his brother was with her. He pulled up in a motherfucking, in a Maserati. That white dude felt a certain kind of way about this shit. He felt a certain kind of way because the way he looked at that brother hop out with this Becky out this motherfucking Ferrari, out this motherfucking Maserati, and he up there in the goddamn a fucking a town and country Chrysler minivan with this black chick who looking like she just got escaped from the plantation with her 2 biracial kids, hair all over the place. He felt a certain kind of way about that Susan with Tyrone. And you can look at it and look and see it in his face. And I seen it in his face. And I smiled and laughed and shit like that. And she, the black woman, still running around there looking silly as fuck with her hair all over with a bonnet on, looking with some pajamas on, looking like shit. And that's what happened. When they get with Brad, they do just like with black men. They stop doing shit to themselves. They let themselves go. And Brad eventually found a way to escape from her ass and leave her a single mama. This what always happens to Keisha. And this what happened to Keisha when Carlos Vargas get with her. He deal with her shit for a while, might have a few kids with her, but he deal with her shit for a while. But I bet you he'd be right back with Hacienda. But the funny thing is, them Latino dudes get mad at black women because them Latino women now choosing up on black men, and not some of them niggas don't like it. They don't like it. Because the funny thing is, I'm just keeping real, you have way more successful black men in the corporate world than Latino brothers. Let's keep it real on that tip. So you got these successful brothers now that are winning, and the divestment chicks are upset about it. Because you will ask them why they upset, because these men, they don't want it. They say they don't want it. Then you figure out the reason why, because now they got white men joining the movement. They are upset with it. The black women that thought they would have a whole bunch of black men to lay on when they get through getting their black blowed out by Ray Ray and Pookie, they don't have those brothers, so now they upset. They in their feelings. And then the best thing for them to do is equate them black men and put them up under the same umbrella with the Dusty, Pookies, and Ray Rays, broke down Brad and Chaz that they used to date. So that's my rant. It really wasn't a rant, but that's my video on this subject. You all have a great morning, great evening, well, great good night.